All right, guys, we are live. It's episode 294 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Joining me, co-host Jennifer Seymour. What's going on, Jen?
Hey, everybody.
Greg Cannon's in the house. What's going on, Greg?
Hey, everyone.
And Buck Holly, founder of CHPWS or CNH Precision Weapons, however you want to call that. He had his mask on, following protocol. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I always thought people driving in the car with their mask was a little odd, but
It is. Someone supposedly crashed from wearing an N95 in a car by themselves.
I heard they died.
I don't know.
what?
I just saw it like scrolling. I did not open. I just kept scrolling.
Yeah.
So there we go.
If you wear a mask in your car by yourself, you probably should die. I don't think you should probably crash. I don't think you should die, but you probably should crash.
Yeah, I was driving today and I keep seeing more and more of it, and I'm like, oh geez, are we going there? And hey, we're not in that field. That's just kind of Jen's area right now. I don't know.
Yeah, if you wear an N95 for 7 days in a row, your nose will look like this. All red.
Yeah. All right, so guys, thanks for tuning in. Episode 294. Show sponsors here, the folks over at GSL Technologies. All right, they keep you quiet on the range. All your suppressor needs, they got it. Check out gsltechnologies.com. All right, theshootersmindset.com. Obviously, you can keep in tune with all the Shooters Mindset stuff over at the website, shootersmindset.com. If you want to get your questions in live throughout the show, we encourage that. If you're watching on Facebook, the live stream, you can just plug them in below the stream and we'll get them over to Buck throughout the show. Okay. But that'll do it for announcements here. Buck, for those who are unfamiliar with you, tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you got involved in the industry. Tell us a little bit more about your company.
Well, when I kind of sort of retired from government work, after the birth of the midget, which most people know as Noah, the midget, my wife and I moved to Florida, and a buddy of mine from Precision Weapons Section in Quantico started CNH Precision with a focus to build Marine Corps sniper rifles. You know, some people call them clones. Some people call them spec build rifles. So that's how the company started. Several years later, we bought our first CNC. We're like, well, you know, we buy all these parts that we use. Maybe we should start making some of our own parts. And because my wife worked for Glock at the time, and I had a bunch of industry contacts from the training industry and pistol industry, somebody came up to me like, dude, I got this new Glock, this thing called a MOS, and they make these adapter plates for it, but I can't get one. I was like, oh, we could probably make one. So we made one for him. But when you make one of something, you always make 20 or 30 or 50 or 100. And I made 25 of them, and I'm like, man, I'm going to make 25 of these, and I'm never going to sell them all. And it literally took a year to sell 25 MOS adapter plates for an RMR. So that was like 5 years ago. So year one, we sold literally 25 adapter plates. Year two, we sold maybe 50 or 100. Year three, it went berserk. And 5 years later, we've always built the same number of rifles. We build 3 or 4 rifles a week. We're pretty steady at that. But the red dot adapter industry for pistols is now probably safely 75% of our revenue stream. It's what a majority of our focus in life is, because it's funny talking, you know, I'm in bed with all the major red dot manufacturers, and they're all saying like, oh my God, we're at the peak of our industry. And I was like, we have not even seen a ripple on the top of the water yet, as far as how many people are going to have red dots. So stand by, because red dots is the future of pistols. It makes it easier to shoot. It's easier to train people. So here we are. I mean, that's our focus of our business now is red dot adapter plates. My passion is still long range precision shooting, but we make our money making adapter plates.
Yeah, and that's how I discovered your company. I know Jen and Greg are part of the PRS deal. So they knew you from supporting the sport. However, I got involved when I got my first MOS system, and they're like, dude, you got to have this adapter plate. I mean, if you don't, you're wrong. And I was like, okay, well, let's take a look at it. And then I eventually ended up ordering a V3. And I was impressed with it, man. And I've been running a 34 with a V3 for quite some time now, and I have no issues. But I've been working on a range. I've seen so many people with loose optics come back with the MOS or others. And we're not going to poo-poo MOS because, hey, they really kind of, it's a good system. I'm not going to, say that. I mean, but I've seen a lot of issues with it, and a lot of optics coming loose, a lot of optics not holding zeros, a lot of optics falling off on the range, and I have to, shut the range down to go get a $600 optic down range because the dude wants to retrieve it, which I understand. And I went ahead and bought a V3, and I've been super happy with it and hasn't loosened up since. I know people who do a bunch of rituals and stuff and putting lines with a Sharpie to check that, see if that screw backs off a little bit, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later on the show. And here we are with not only the V3 still available, but we have a new product announcement that we're probably going to get in here really shortly, or right in the next question, right?
Yeah.
So there we go on that. I mean, it seems to be the standard. Like, I'm not, maybe not standard, but it seems like every pistol that major manufacturers are coming out with are either coming out in a optic ready system, or they're coming out with one without, one with, or they're just coming out with one that is optic ready, whether that's MOS or however that major manufacturer is spinning it.
So the big discussion amongst just today, we had a fairly substantial meeting here at our shop with the senior training staff from FLETC, Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy guys. And the question came up like, oh, why can't all these guys get together and make one standard like Picatinny? Like Picatinny is like a standard. That's what everybody amounts to. Well, Picatinny was, some people say it was invented at Picatinny Arsenal, where I used to work. But it was a standard that the government created and kind of force-fed everybody to get in line. Optics ready cuts are something that everybody comes up with on their own. And that horse has left the barn a long time ago. Glock is the first. It is the gold standard of optics ready cuts. It may not be the best. Everyone has its pros and its cons, but it is the most versatile. It is the most widely accepted. In my opinion, if with the right mounting plate, it is the best. And thank God they don't make great adapter plates. What I've found, in my opinion, is pistol companies make great pistols. Optics companies make great optics. Somewhere in between, there has to be a company that makes great adapters. Because if you survey the market, optics company that make adapter plates, I'll be frank, optics companies that make adapter plates suck at making optic plates. Pistol companies who make fantastic pistols, Glock, H&K, Smith & Wesson, you name, go across the board. All of them make fantastic pistols, and their adapter plates, I'm sorry guys, but they suck. I mean, they're not optimized. They're like, oh, you guys want an adapter plate? Here you go. Just deal with it. SIG. So that's really where we've come in. We've created a cottage industry on adapter plates. Glock has created a metric shit ton of cottage industries, whether it's frames, slides, grips, aftermarket parts. So we're just we're just one of those companies that has fallen in line with the cottage industry of we're filling a gap where they may have done something really good and we've just perfected it. So I'm very happy that they've done that. So I don't have any, I'm not going to say anything bad about it. It could be better, but that's where we come in. We made it better.
Yeah, Greg, we have a couple live here. You want to hit a couple of the shout outs? You take your stuff off mute.
Yeah, we got Brian Conley from Hunters HD Gold said good evening. Alan Singleton said, "What's up, guys?"
Yes,
He's with you, Buck. Jim Rickner said, "Hey, guys." Mike Bell said 902 and he's here. FYI, the Crimson Trace CTS 100 looks to be a nice little optic. Thanks again to the Shooter's Mindset for the giveaway prize. Dale Rudolph said #boom.
Yeah.
Mike Bell said Glock adapter plates are like their sights. And Kevin from GSL Suppressor said, "Truth, Burger King doesn't make tacos and Taco Bell doesn't sell burgers."
Yeah. And on that note, I know we do have the giveaway announcement here coming here shortly. So probably one of our biggest number of entries we had in a giveaway of recent. We are giving away a set of Hunters HD Gold. They are the gauges, or gauge frame, we'll call them. And a lot of entries there. We're going to do that here towards the middle of the show. So if you're into and entered into that, stay tuned here. We'll announce you here shortly, the winner here shortly. But Buck, I mean, I always kind of called it a flawed system just because being on that range, I've seen so many loosen up. And then so the issue I always had too is you would get a Glock MOS, you would pay that premium. And I'm a big fan of Glock. I mean, I have more Glocks than probably any other handgun that there is. You would pay that premium for the MOS system. You would buy an RMR or an RMR style optic or SRO, whatever you want to call it. They would give you screws that come in the RMR box. They would give you screws that come in the MOS case, and none of the screws worked. And you had to buy another set of screws to get it to work. And it was all over the place. I'm like, so you have to pay extra money here, and then pay extra money for extra screws and plates and all this other nonsense. I'm like, why can't they just put the screws in the box?
Well, there's no incentive for a pistol company to make the pistol. I mean, let's. How many pistols are out there, and how many red dots are out? So a red dot company. Let's go to the red dot company. A red dot company can't possibly put all the screws for all the pistols in their box. You'd end up with a bag this big with full of screws. This is for your HK. This is for your core. This is for your SIG. The bag would be 3 times bigger if it was for your SIG. And then these are for your Glock. Okay. The pistol company, imagine how many. So let's just go down the list. I'm not going to say them all, but there's probably there's three really good options for law enforcement protecting your life optics. There's 6 or 7 red dots that are good for recreational plinking, dinking around. Though all of them require different size screws. So if you're a pistol company, how are you possibly going to put all those screws in one bag and facilitate your customer and keep them happy? It's not possible, which is why when we sell you a plate, we give you upgraded hardware to mount your plate to your pistol with upgraded stainless steel Torx head screws. And we give you the proper hardware, whether it's an RMR or a hollow sun. We're like, oh, you're going to do a hollow sun? We're going to give you these screws because the screws are a different size. So we cater to those people. And yeah, our plate is $69. Oh, well, I can get a set of 4 from Glock for $45. Well, let me know how that works out for you, because the screws aren't the right length. Your shit's going to fall off. And you said it earlier, like, oh, every time I go to the range. So you just said it. Every time you go to the range, somebody's red dot is like, oh shit, glad I was wearing eye protection. You're not wearing eye protection to protect you from flying optics. You're wearing it from spall and stuff, right? So if you're at the range, imagine going to a class like I was in this weekend, the red dot instructor class. And there's 18 federal law enforcement instructor type dudes. And if 3 of their pistols had gone down, let's say they were all Glocks or they were all SIGs or they were all M&Ps, the internet would burn down. Like, oh, that pistol is a piece of crap. Went down. 3 of them out of 18 dudes. That wouldn't be acceptable. We would be talking about it today on the internet. However, in that class of real dudes who do real stuff for a real living, 3 optics in the class of 2 days came off their guns. Or maybe didn't come off, but came loose. And you know what they're like? You know what they say? They're like, oh, it's the price of admission. It's a red dot. That happens. Why? It doesn't need to happen because they're running inferior plates. They don't know the proper process. Listen, because you're a dude and you have an appendix between your legs and you have a bottle of Loctite and a set of torque wrenches does not mean you are a mounting expert. You don't know shit about mounting an optic on a gun. Or you don't know shit about mounting a scope on a rifle. But if somebody teaches you, like torque wrench, how to properly apply Loctite, do you know how many guys use red Loctite on red dots? You know what red Loctite is for? Red Loctite is for screws or fasteners that are between a 1/4 inch and an inch in diameter that possibly, and quote unquote, possibly contain oil or contaminants. Why would you use them on a M3, an M4, or a 440 or 630 screw that you have the ability to clean and put on? They're dumb. Dudes think this is a dude thing, and we're just going to take it like hot sauce and put that stuff on there and like, oh, I'm going to torque it on there. And if the instructions say, Trijicon's instructions say 13 inch-pounds, well, 13? 20 is probably better. Oh.
Duh. More is better. So I think the best story I have of that, how about someone mounting a scope rail on a 1022 and mounted it up, and the next day went to go play with it, went to go rack the bolt, and there was so much Loctite, the bolt wouldn't move. He Loctited the actual bolt of the gun in place.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You see it. Yeah. We see it all the time. Like people call us for warranty work. They're like, oh, I broke my plate. Oh, like, send me some pictures. All right. And you know instantly what they did. Like on your V3, which we're going to upgrade you to a V4. But on your V3, those little elevated posts, those threaded posts that stick up, you know if those elevated posts are ripped off the plate, they didn't torque it to 13 inch-pounds. They torqued it to like 28. And some people actually comically tell us, like, hey, dude, I'm so sorry. We're going to replace that. What'd you do? Oh, I torqued it. Did you use a torque wrench? Oh, yeah, sure did. What'd you torque it to? Just want to, just curious. 28 inch-pounds.
Yeah.
That'll keep the lugs on your car, on your tire.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, and it's funny, and I'm laughing because I've been on the side of that. Like I've torqued shit, like I've torqued shit so hard. We're talking about, and obviously not using the right size, thinking you have the right size, and then you strip the screws out, or you torque too much, and I mean, or not applying Loctite properly. I mean, I've done it. I always tend to learn things the hard way, right? It has to. Like I have to break it and then learn it. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
I broke it now. Okay, I need to do some research and figure
Dude,
it out.
I got so many stories, and this is very fresh in my mind because the Fletsy guys were here today, and I dropped like truth bomb on them today, and they're like, "Hey, have you ever taken a? We're going to use an empty beer bottle like right here. So let's just say for instructional period only, this is a bottle of Loctite, right? And you take the tap off and you can dump it on stuff. Have you got a bottle of Loctite at home and like the nozzle keeps plugging up? Do you know why? Because I'm going to use this as an example. So this is your bottle. If you take this bottle of Loctite and this is your screw, if your method of putting it on is like that, you're contaminating the Loctite inside the bottle and the nozzle, and it plugs up. That's why it plugs up. So what you need to do is you need to dump some of this on a Q-tip or on the table and then swab the screw, not use the bottle as an applicator. And I would love for people to look up on Loctite or VC, specifically Loctite, look up on their website and see what the recommended uses for the different Loctites are. Dude, you'll never use red again, ever. Purple 222 for screws that are 440 in that category, 440 M3, M4, 632 is 222. Dudes look at me, look cross-eyed like there's no such thing as 222 Loctite. I'm like, dude, that's all we use at the shop. Like, there's no such thing. It's purple. So, yeah, check it out.
Check it out. I wanted to go over to Jen here because I know Jen hasn't really said much, but she's been mighty popular along the internets recently here. We need to give her, and obviously she's really doing a great job, and it's there's I don't know if we can get a copy of that news reporting system in the Facebook comment sections here, so you can check her out. And usually when the news puts you on the airwaves, they like put you on for like 10th of a second, like, hey, I'm Jennifer, and then you're done. But there's a lot of airtime and mention of her name in the Georgia news area. So let's see. I don't know, Greg, if you can plug in the comments here, but she's doing a great job over. Obviously, she's in the Georgia area doing a lot of testing for the COVID-19 things. I don't know, Jen, if you can elaborate on that. I know that's kind of your deal for the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I've been in Atlanta a week now, and I'll probably be here another week and a half. And so my hospital has developed an app. Like early on with the COVID stuff, we developed an app that had a screening tool so you could get screened to see if you needed a COVID test. And we've changed the criteria for testing as the CDC recommendations have gone out and as supply has increased, and that kind of thing. So we had drive up testing sites in our area that we were running, and we had the app, and we started 3D printing our own swabs because that's part of the limiting factor. But we 3D produce our own swabs now, so we pretty much can test a lot of people, right? So the governor of Georgia wants to reopen Georgia. He's been all over the national news for that. And I don't get into the political parts of it. I'm just glad I don't have to make those decisions. But he needed more testing to be able to make decisions. And so they needed to get testing out to Georgians. And so they asked the National Guard to open more sites. And the General Cardin asked AU to partner with them. So we're partnered with the National Guard, and we have 6 sites in the Atlanta area, 1 in Albany, 1 in Sparta, and then the ones in Augusta. And we may branch out to do more. But anyway, so we got told with about 24 hours of notice to pack for 2 weeks that we were going to Atlanta. So we've opened these sites. My site is on Georgia State University. It's actually the blue lot next to Turner Field, the old Turner Field, where the Olympic torch is. So that's where my site is, and we're testing people. They can either go on the app and get an appointment, or they can drive up. And so that's what we're doing every day, 7 days a week, no days off.
Well, thank you for doing the hard work, getting our state back to work, because this epidemic hoax, in my opinion, is long since over. I mean, let's take good care and keep our families safe. but we need to get back at it.
Like I said, I'm glad I don't have to make any of the decisions, but the governor can't make decisions if he doesn't have the data there to be able to make educated decisions. So that's what we're doing, is trying to help with that. I've got an awesome troop of National Guardsmen with me. They take good care of me. So we've been working together for a week now, and yep.
So there we go. We'll get that link in the comment section here. But we hinted on it here, Buck. The V4 has been announced. Okay. We're gonna get TSM 25. We got an awesome discount code for you guys here listening, where you can get 25% off their adapter plate from CHP WS, and that's TSM 25. We're gonna get a little bit more into that later, but we want to announce the V4 plate that just came out earlier this month. Okay, the difference is, and right away I was, DMing some buddies. They're like, well, what the hell is the difference between the V3 and the V4? So what is the announcement for V4 for those who haven't heard, and what are the differences?
Well, the V4 was delayed it wasn't delayed, but it was on schedule. It never lost its schedule. We released it on April 15th on schedule. The reason that we did that is the major reason that you have red dot retention issues on pistols is it boils down to one thing: length of thread engagement. Okay, so the simple math, or the general rule of thumb, is that if you have a 440 or a 632, you can do some simple math. Like, you measure the diameter of the screw, and whatever the diameter of that screw is, in stainless steel or steel, you need that much, 1x, or 1.5x that much material to thread into to get proper thread engagement. On a Glock MOS OEM plate, you have 100 thousandths thick plate. You have a 632 screw with a major diameter of like 134, 135 thousandths. So you instantly have a screw that doesn't have enough thread engagement. And screws are shaped a lot like this Sharpie. Like, they're chamfered at the bottom so that people with big, meaty sausage fingers can get them in a hole and get them started, right? So the threads that are on this part down here don't count for anything. So on a 100 thousandths thick plate, you might only have 90 thousandths of thread engagement. That is why threads come loose. Shock and vibe, your threads come loose. So what we did was we took a step back, and we're like, how do we get more threads? And I'm not, I'll give credit where credit's due. I was taking apart my rifle. I worked for a company in the past that we had an M-lock system on the side of our rifle. And one day, one of the T-nuts fell out. And I was like, that's it. We're going to make a new T-nut. So our new T-nut design, there it is. It's patent pending. This T-nut is 180 or 180 thousandths thick. And you insert it into the bottom of your plate. So you insert it from the bottom. It's a T-nut, so it won't come out. And then you put your RMR or your Holosun or whatever optic on top of it, and you thread down through it. And now you have, instead of only having 100 thousandths thick of thread engagement, you have up to 180 thousandths of thread engagement. So that's how we're able to keep people's red dots on pistol even more. Part 2 of the V4 launch is the Defender. So what the Defender is it's a polymer plate and a polymer window that you can mount. It's specifically designed for your RMR or your Holosun, and we're making others now. And it's a sacrificial window frame that you can beat against. So you're a pistol shooter, right? And if you're a pistol shooter and you're if you're one of those people that I call a lazy pistol shooter, and it wasn't screwed on there, so none of this is screwed on, so it's supposed to come off. But if you're one of those people that I call lazy, now you start manipulating the slide like this instead of like this or like this. Okay. So the problem that people have had for years with their red dot, if they were mounted on a standard slide, is that when they rack them like this, the front of the optic becomes contaminated with sweat, goo, DNA, and junk. And what you end up doing is you end up pulling your t-shirt out and cleaning it off all day. So that's the first intention for this. The second intent for the Defender was to allow you, let's say you're doing a drill, it's a one-handed drill where this hand is incapacitated and you need to rack this off something. You can rack this off concrete, wood, whatever, and you're not going to get scratches or dents or mars in the glass or the case. And if you happen to break this off, it's a sacrificial piece. It's like a brush guard on your truck. Like, you don't put a brush guard on your truck because it looks cool. And if you are, you shouldn't be driving a truck. You should be driving a Kia. Okay. So if you drive an F-250 like I do, and you put a brush guard on it, the chances are you probably are going to put yourself in an environment where you got to push over a tree. You're driving down a country road. You don't want the deer that runs out in front of you to smash your hood or your grill. The difference between our brush guard and their brush guard is that when you damage or break our brush guard for your red dot, we're going to replace it for free. No questions asked. If you do that to your truck, tough shit. You're replacing it yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
retention, number one. We're going to retain your Glock or your sight on your pistol like nobody else has been in the past. And it's patent pending. So all those people that are looking or watching, we're coming for you. You know, the tribe, the Jews will come and crush you if you try and copy us. Number two, we're going to keep your dirty, grubby mitts off the front of your optic. And if you break it, no harm, no foul. We're going to replace it.
Nice. Yeah. And I know we got some live here. We're going to hit those. I watch a lot of YouTube channels who do testing on red dots, and they're manipulating the gun off of objects and stuff like that, which he gets a lot of slack for and a lot of praise for. And he does a great job in testing those optics. But that might be interesting to see that test here coming up and see how long that guard actually can hold up before it does break.
Well, are we talking about Aaron?
Yes.
So Aaron has several of these. And I'll just confirm now. Did Aaron Cohen break a Holosun adapter plate? Yes, he did. If Aaron Cohen has something that you made and he didn't break it, good for you.
Right.
All right. So, but what I can tell you is he talked to me about this test. He burned it down like 500 rounds full auto to heat it up. Did it maintain 0? Yes. Let's drop it. Pass. Let's burn it down again, another 500 rounds. Let's drop it again. Pass. Maintain 0. Yes. Let's burn it down again, another 500 rounds. I believe he got to the 1,500 round part. He dropped it. And I don't even know how far he dropped it from. It's either 5 or 8 or 10 feet. He dropped it. The front window broke off of the Defender. He's like, oh, shit happens. He picked up the pistol.
Yeah.
And he shot it, and it maintained 0. And he continued with the test with no window on the Defender, and it passed with flying colors. Now, did he get a new one? Yes. Was he disappointed that it broke? No. So
15,000 rounds. I mean, some people don't even shoot that in a lifespan of owning a pistol, let alone. That's impressive.
it wasn't 15,000. It broke after 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah,
That's correction.
but
1,500.
After the third drop test from 5 or 8 feet. But, you know, And that's what it's for. You know, some of our test cadre are like, oh shit, I broke it. Yeah, I watched the video. You were racking it on something and racking it down and sideways. You know, if you do stuff to this that you wouldn't normally do to your red dot and it breaks, are you blaming me, or did you break it because you were doing something you wouldn't normally do?
Right. There you go. There it is, Greg. We got some live here we're going to hit, and then we're going to go into the giveaway for the Hunters HD Gold. And then we got a discount code for the new V4 adapter place that we've been talking about up to this point in the show. What do we got, Greg?
All right, so we'll hit a few of these live ones. A lot of them are for Jen, so we'll get back to those when she gets back. So maybe we'll do this, then the giveaway, and then come back. Also on the giveaway, Brian said if the person that wins needs RX glasses, that RX will be included as well. So if you win, get with us. We'll get that all sorted out.
Hey, how about whoever wins also gets a defender?
Oh,
Ooh.
there we go. Up to Annie there.
Ooh, yeah, we can do that. So let's see what else was that. Corey K said hashtag Team Federal, hashtag boom. That's for Jen. Sorry, there's a lot in here. And we lost Anthony too. Okay.
It's just us.
All right. Kevin from GSL said, wow, great info on Loctite. Let's see. Prentice said a lot. Prentice, we know you're there. We'll wait till Jen gets back.
Prentice, is that a Disney female character?
Let's see. All right, we'll go over here to this giveaway. So I need that.
Let's screen share this, right?
Yep. We got this.
Boom. Hunter, man, a pair of Hunters HD Gold with a V4. Dude, someone's in the winnings right here.
Yep. So what I did is I pulled everything, basically copied all the comments out of Facebook since there were so many. So this way I have numbers that I don't have to count down. We have all our entries here. We're going to generate a random number now. That's going to be number 31. So number 31 is Indiana Pastor.
Here we go.
Scott Pastor, David Pastor, delete, hide, or report.
There,
Yeah, that's the way that came out. But I just normally, if we only have a couple entries, I'll go through and I'll count. I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're number 7, but I am not counting down that many. So shoot us a private message on the Shooter's Mindset, and we'll get you information on how to get both of your prizes.
Congratulations, man. You won some awesome product here from 2 great companies. And if you
Who
don't
just
have,
won? I missed it. Sorry.
Indiana Pastor.
Sweet.
and Buck sweetened the pot and threw in a V4, so they're getting a set of Hunter HD Gold eyewear, and they're getting a V4 system for adapter plate for their.
They can have whatever they want. They're going to call you. They call me. We're going to hook them up.
Awesome.
Dang. Yeah.
So
there you go.
I need to get that kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
Jennifer, you would have been the recipient of one of these very super soft, sexy night shirts that I like to wear to bed. My girlfriend wears to bed. I did send a message about 2 weeks ago, like send me sizes and addresses.
He did.
Saturday, I got your address and your size, and I was like, oh, they're not going to get it this time.
Yeah.
So
I'm not home
Yeah.
anyway. I haven't been home in a week, so.
I do have a question for you, though.
What?
Who is the maker of that awesome necklace you're wearing? Is that happens to be Spent Round Designs from Vienna, Georgia?
No.
Signing off.
It is not.
Okay, well, maybe at some point in the future, you can get the good. So Vienna, Georgia, if you don't know where Vienna, Georgia is, it is the watermelon capital of the world. It's south of where you are by about 2 hours. It's what I like to call my hometown. It's Cotton King. And they have a small company called Spent Round Designs that does stuff that looks a lot like what you do. I mean,
Cool.
literally like a town of about 2,500 people. So anyway, shout out to them.
Awesome. And I suppose I better take the time to shout out to P Winky.
Yes,
Because-
you better. I can't find any comments because it's
Prentice, stop blowing it up. I can't look at the comments and do Zoom because I'm on hotel Wi-Fi. So I told them I can't look at the comments. So Greg copied and pasted out of the comments, and it's like this long of Prentice just asking me to shout out to him. So
That was only the
Prentice,
first 25%.
Practice is actually only this long.
so if
Wow.
you were P Winky, if you were still going to be shooting K&M, you could see me, but somebody's selling their spot. I saw. So.
What? I can't believe you
Saying.
chickened out.
Dang. Is there matches going on? So there's still matches going on for 2020? I thought that was not a thing anymore.
That's end of May.
Yeah.
End of May.
Yep.
Supposedly we were going to be back to pew-pewing at the end of May.
Yeah.
We are.
I hope so.
I saw some Steel Challenge coming into play, but USPSA and IDPA still on hold. But we're looking at a June start for this stuff back again, it seems. There we go.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm doing. I still haven't canceled my May 9th NRL 22 match, but it's like, I really want to shoot. Should I?
I would do it. I would just do it. Like, what are they going to do? Arrest you like you're a pastor?
No, so we can legally do it. It's just a matter of if it will be a wise idea or not.
Well, my question to you is, why wouldn't it be wise? Like, you can run a 22 match and stay within the CDC's guidelines. Let's stay apart. Let's have some fun. We're outdoors. I mean, I think that's what the country needs more of, is like, we're tired of your bullshit regulations, your tyrannical laws. We're going to maintain some safety. We think this is serious, but we as adult human beings can do this as rational adults and do it safely without you arresting us or giving us a ticket.
Yeah. I mean, every week there's more and more stuff opening up. Before the gun range was closed, now the gun range is appointment only, and now next week is probably open up. We're going to do every other lane to keep people apart and stay within those guidelines here. But there's so much, there's so much back and forth of opinion on this stuff that it's hard to kind of, where do you believe, what do you keep track of, yada yada. So I do want to mention on here again, I know I mentioned it throughout the show, TSM 10 saves you 25% off CHPWS adapter plates right now. That's valid for 2 days. All right, so the people who are going to watch the show live, the people who are going to watch it tomorrow morning or whatever, you get to tune into the Shooter's Mindset, number 294, save 25% off. If you have any Glock MOS system or anything like that, you need to upgrade and save some money while doing it.
If you want to live the rest of your life without wearing an eye patch and saying whether you shoot a core, a SIG, a Glock, an HK, a Canic, like, dude, we just got a slide from Canic today. They're like, can you make a plate for us? Roger that. The next couple days. So whatever they want. And if they want to use their coupon and we don't have it right now, just tell them to call us. And we'll put them, we'll save your spot.
There you go. So there it is. So I want to go over here. Holosun and Trigicon V4 plates being different, even though they're the same footprint. What is the deal with that as far as making adapter plates?
Well, it's pretty easy. Like we make a V4 Defender. So it defends, it's the brush guard for your optic. Dude, the front of the optics are different sizes and shapes. Okay? The complex angles are different. So we make it specifically for your optic. So see that? There's your Holosun. There's your Defender. It matches the contour of your optic. Now, try and take one of my lovely little Trigicons and try and put it on a Holosun plate, and it don't work. No matter how hard you get it to try, it don't work. So we had to make them specific for each optic for the Defender on purpose. So here I was able to put a Trigicon on a Holosun, and you see there's an angle on there that you'd be able to push this thing back and it's taller. It just doesn't match. It doesn't look good. Like how many people own pistols, and it's more about vanity. Like if I see another pistol with a gold barrel and some holes cut in it with a trigger that's got a little red safety gizmo on it, it's all about making your wiener look bigger, okay? So I understand that. So that's why we had to make a Defender that matches your red dot, so that we don't want to shrink the size of your wiener because it looks stupid. We want to either maintain your size or make it look even bigger. So for the Defender, we make a plate that's specific for your red dot. Now, all the other plates, the Recce and the Mil LEO, it doesn't have a window on the front, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, there's a difference here. We got any more live ones? And then if not, we're going to move into discount codes. We got something from GSL here. What do we got, Greg?
I don't really have any live ones right now.
So we'll move into discount corner here. Jen, you usually start us off. Discount corner here. Going to share some discounts here from some companies who support the Shooter's Mindset Show. What do we have? Just
You're on mute.
Yes,
There
I
we
just
go.
realized
Got
I'm
it.
crunching. I'm eating my dinner. I just realized I'm on mute. So
that-
you can get 10% off at carbonarms.us on shotgun shell caddies, extension tubes, all that good stuff with the code TSM10. And you can also get 10% off of jerseys, hoodies, all those good things at Under Industries. If you just go message him on Facebook, Under Industries, and mention the Shooter's Mindset, you'll get 10% off there as well. And I know he's been making a lot of cloth masks for healthcare workers or people that need them. So shout out to him for doing that.
Boom there. Greg, what do you got?
Hey, I'm not muted. I'm normally the one that's muted at this point. Let's see. So I have the code Mindset10 in all caps. It'll save you 10% off of anything off of PhoneScope's website. If you've not checked them out, go over to their website. Some really innovative stuff there.
Nice. That's all you got, Greg?
Yep. I'm not as popular as
All
Jen.
right. Yeah, there we go. And we want to, Buck, you might as well just say it yourself.
Hey,
TSM
listen.
25.
So we support those who support us. I mean, we support the PRS. It's my passion. I love long guns. Jennifer and I share a passion for shooting long range precision rifles. So we go to every match. We reward every RO, every range owner with certificates for all their people. I'm not a huge fan of rewarding pro shooters because the same guys win every week and they're bringing home treasure troves worth of stuff and selling it. I prefer to give stuff back to the people who support us, the ROs, the people like you guys who are doing the hard work promoting other companies. So that's why we're doing this. So that's why we're on the show. That's why we're giving a discount for those. It's TSM25. Log onto our website. If you find something that you like in a red dot adapter plate, buy it, use that code. You get 25% off and free shipping for the next, 24, 36 hours, however long it lasts. If it doesn't work, it don't work. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to support you guys because this is your hard work. You're into almost 300 episodes, a bunch of which I've watched. And I appreciate everything that you guys do for the industry. So, and I believe in rewarding those people that are here watching us now.
Nice.
They deserve a discount. So that's why we're doing that.
TSM 25 here. If you even don't even have red dots to put on those Glocks yet or said guns, I think it's a good time to buy now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Here's a question. Does it work on gunsmith work as well? So if I need my slide cut.
Ooh,
Well, I bet in about 2 clicks I can make it work So if you'll notice, we had 2 guys from Fletsy who in a class this weekend, they saw our silicon carbide grip texture that we do, which is, in my humble opinion, is way better than some junior varsity dude with a Home Depot soldering iron just stabbing the shit like Captain stabbing the shit out of the Glock, the Glock side. We don't degrade the structural integrity of the frame. We carve off all the vanity little bumps. That's it. And then we add silicon carbide to it. It won't come off. After 2 days of training this in a real rugged, I ran 1,500 rounds to this pistol this weekend, and my hands hurt, but it never fell out. So this is a great texture if you run and gun. This is not the texture that you put on your pistol if you conceal carry, because this will rub a hole in your flank and your intestines will be dragging behind you within about 10 minutes of this. So yes, I'm going to log in here real quickly and I'm going to give you 25% off our silicon carbide grip. Now, if you want some wrap serrations or God forbid you want me to put some holes in your slide, if you pay me enough money, we'll do it. I don't think that you should. I think that a slide, the Gen 5 has everything you need and nothing you don't. It's got cocking serrations on it. It's got an MOS cut. What more do you need? Do you need some? Now, if you got a gold barrel, then maybe you need some holes in there so you can show everybody you got a gold barrel. I don't think you need a gold barrel. So if you want some cocking serrations, we'll put those in there. If you want 25% off our silicon carbide grip texture, which also comes with a single undercut, we got you covered. So
there we go.
Before we end this show, I'll get in there and I'll upgrade that discount code for you.
Boom, watch, take advantage here. Discount codes on my end here from the folks over at gsltechnologies.com. We talked about them earlier in the show. All your suppressor needs. Free single color Cerakote from the folks over at Savannah River Cerakote in Evans, Georgia, when you buy a GSL suppressor from them before the end of April. All right, so that's discount corner here before the end of April. Single color coat Cerakote when you buy a GSL suppressor. A couple from me, Taran TacticalInnovations.com, TSM10 save you 10% off all accessories over there. umtactical.com, TSM10 saves you a lot of holster needs, some AR-15 parts, stuff like that. TSM10 save you 10% off their website here. And those are valid till, I don't know, man. We've been running those codes for a very long time. What do you offer other? Yeah, there you go. What do you offer? We've been talking a lot about your adapter plates. Obviously, you said that's like 70-75% of your business. So we really wanted to hit that, especially with the new product launch. But like I said, you're a sponsor of the PRS, the whole shooting league and sport of the PRS. What products do you offer other than, and services other than the adapter plates?
So we build precision rifles. I mean, that's really how we started, and that's continuing to what we do now. We still continue to maintain 4 or 5 precision rifles, 3, 4, 5 precision rifles a week we pump out. And we pride ourselves on building very accurate precision bolt action rifles. But chamber jobs, new barrels, glass bedding jobs, you name it. But I'm not going to say we're straying away from that, but what we found is the precision rifle world is a little bit fickle. And if you're not like super in vogue, super popular, and listen, I am not afraid to tell you what I think. Okay. There's a lot of people think that I'm a dick or I'm a loudmouth or whatever. Fine. Yes, you're right. I am. And if that causes you, I'm a staunch conservative Christian male South Georgia guy. And if that rubs you wrong way, then go have your stuff built or worked on somewhere else. If you don't like my Christian conservative values, me dragging my kids around to every match, me telling you what I feel on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, if that offends you, tough shit. I don't need your work. I don't need your business. The people that keep coming back to me appreciate what I have to say. They appreciate that I will admit to wrongdoing, but along with that, I'm going to call the bullshit flag if you do something wrong or do something stupid. Period, paragraph. So we build a lot of precision rifles, but again, the precision rifle business is fickle. Like, oh, that other company over there is in vogue and they're cool and they're okay, fine. Go have them do your stuff because the pistol market makes money for us. We do rifles because that's my passion. The pistol industry feeds my family and puts my kids through college. So, and it's far easier to convince somebody that they need we have the most superior product on the market. It's far easier to convince somebody that we have the most superior $65 product on the market than it is to convince somebody that we have the most superior $4,000 rifle on the market. Because there's a lot of competition in that market. So I don't hide my feelings. I don't hide my whatever. If you don't like me, then go have your shit built somewhere else or worked on somewhere else. If you want true Christian conservative, staunch Republican, South Georgia values, here we are.
There you go. And it's straight up from Buck himself. There we go. I don't know, Jen, what do you got? Anything on your end? Any jump in, any feedback? I know when I mentioned this show, I know you talked about them being a big supporter of the long range game. So that's how I kind of learned more about their product in that area. But you got anything else?
Yeah, I've always thought it was very cool that you give to the ROs. Giving back to the ROs is very, very good because they do a lot of work. We could not have any PRS matches if we didn't have the ROs. They go out there, they don't get to shoot it. They're out there in the same weather we're in, miserable, but they aren't getting to shoot. Yeah. And they're having to put up with all of us going, come on, didn't you see that impact? So they put up with a lot. So I think it's awesome that you give back to them. I think that's a very stand-up. Very good.
You're exactly right. And I don't shoot pistol matches, so I have to assume that it's kind of sort of the same. Except I think in pistol matches they get to shoot the match prior, and then so they're there for like 5 days. So you're exactly right, Jennifer.
Yeah.
The ROs make our sport, and so often the top shooters walk away with a prize table with all the goodies every time, and the ROs are just there just to serve them. I am very anti-ruling class. Call it whatever you want. And that is probably why sometimes I get a bad reputation. Like, oh, you're the establishment. Let me bow before you. No, how about that? We're not here to serve you. The ROs, the match directors, the assistant match directors, they're busting their ass for you. Pay attention to the sponsors. Holy shit, the sponsors get beat to death getting asked for product and sponsorships, and it's only gotten worse with the more matches that we're hosting, the more the sponsors get beat up. So all of these people, the predominant, there is a small segment of people who walk away with a majority of the prizes that want more prizes from the same people. This can't continue. There's got to be some change. And I've attempted to make some change. Like I'm not putting anything on the prize table. Everything that I put on the prize table goes to the ROs or the range owners or the people that just are there to support us.
There you go. I mean, hey, I know there's two sides to that fence. All right, and you can get a good argument against that. But I mean, ROs that I know who work even on the pistol side get little to zero compensation. I mean, you might get the hotel room paid for. Hey, you might get a nice dinner with the match staff. You know, hey, and those are great things, but that's like the most you usually get. Like I don't know anybody who said they walked away and I got a paycheck from that.
You invite me to a match. You're going to go to a match in the future. I challenge you. You're going to a match in the future, and you want me to show up as your attaché, just tag along, dude. I'll come shoot pistol with you for a day. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I can come in last or first, whatever. But I guarantee you, I'll come to your pistol match. I'll do the same thing. Every RO will get a defender plate, a certificate, or something. And I think that's what I'm going to start to do. I'm going to start to spread my wealth, and I'm going to start to service the pistol industry because the pistol industry is feeding my family and putting my kids through college. You know, yeah, and I get to drive a brand new F-250. Thank you. But I work really hard to put, to keep employees paid. Hey, listen, all this PPP crap, like people applying for loans to keep their business, we haven't shut down once. In fact, during this whole shutdown epidemic, not only have we kept all of our people, we've paid them overtime and we've hired 2 more people. And do you think, ask me, have we applied for the PPP loan? No. You know what? I think that's signing a check to the devil. Like, hey, do you want $10,000 or $20,000 to pay your dudes? Guarantee, watch in the future, like all these people that did get a loan, there's probably some asterisk, like we get to come in there and like stick our finger in some private part of you and inspect you in a way that you don't want to be inspected. I don't want your money.
Ouch. Dang. Yeah, I know the gun industry is, the firearm industry is booming during this COVID deal, and I see it it's a good thing. A lot of new gun owners, a lot of people taking concealed weapons classes, basic classes, stuff like that. First time gun owners, people buying guns, buying accessories, stuff like that. I haven't talked to one person that said, hey, we're in the firearms industry that we're having a hard time on that. Hey, let's go into slide cuts here, Buck, before we go off. Are all slide cuts created equal? Do I go to your company or do I go to such and such company? Am I getting the same piece of work here for the money, or what are we talking about here?
There's about 10 companies in the industry that do things and do it right. And I'm not going to go into names, but you know who they are. They're the people who have backlogs of 3, 4, 5 weeks, 6 months, whatever. If you're getting a slide cut, I mean, ask the simple questions. I want to put an RMR on my slide. Do you have a CNC machine that can do this? If they do, they're probably going to do it well. Can you provide me with some recommendations with some real shooters like you or others that have had it done in the past, and are they going to give you valuable feedback? At this day and age, if somebody has a knee mill, a manual mill in their garage, and they're doing it for $50, that's probably the same dude who has the Captain Stabbin orange soldering iron from Home Depot that's willing to stipple your frame for a low rock bottom price of 25 or 50 bucks as well, like $100 all in. And I'll put some nice circle holes in your slide, like with a drill bit. So are all people created equal? The top 10 or 15 people, call any agency in the country who has a red dot program, any law enforcement agency that has a red dot program that allows direct milling. There's going to be 10 to 12 to 15 companies on that list that are allowed to do it, that have been vetted, and we're one of them. Outside of that, there's a bunch of people that do it, and there's going to be a bunch more in the future. So yes, you're probably pretty much getting you're getting what you pay for, but go to a reputable brand that has some reputation behind them. We can't hear her.
You should let her say hi, Anthony.
Yeah. What's up?
She said she wants to paint the boom boom. That's what she literally came in there. She wants to. Do you want to paint the boom boom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There. She's a fan of Cerakoting. All right. There you go. Okay.
That was the purple one.
The purple one. Okay. She wants a purple boom boom. There we go. That's where we're at. Who out there can Cerakote some purple boom booms?
Mm.
You might have a client. There we go. Great. Any live that came in or any stuff on that thing?
You're muted.
My turn. We got a few. Sorry if I missed you. There is a lot over here. Let's see. Scott Asip said, "We're booming. We don't signal anybody out. We're a team in the firearms industry." Brian Conley said, "Great show tonight. Glad to find out about CNH Precision and Buck himself. Looking forward to purchasing the Defender soon with discount code." Matt Lindner said, "Get ranked, Buck. That's what you do best. Love it, man." Dan McDonald said hi. Dale Rudolph said #boom. Mike Bell said #boom. Tony Pascal said USMC clone rifles are the exact. Oh, an actual question. Mike Bell said, "Stupid red dot shooter question. Why mount a red dot to a plate and not to the slide itself?"
Okay, so good question, Mike Bell. Some pistols come with a optics ready cut. Optics ready cuts are typically oversized, so they accept numerous styles and shapes of red dots. But when they do that, you have to mount an adapter plate to it to fill up all the gaps. That's what we do really well. Some people do it and just do it okay. Now, if you have I don't have one here, but we'll use this Canic slide for a minute. And let's just pretend that these screws are not here. If this was a slide that had no optics cut on it, this would be a really good option to direct mill this HoloSun 407K, which none of you guys have. We could mill this directly in there and it would fit perfectly. But the bad thing about that is when we mill a slide to direct mount your optic, it's the only optic you can ever put in there for the life of the pistol, unless we can mill it directly for something else and the holes don't interfere. So the benefit of optics ready slides is that you can change optics with optics adapters without having to do any milling. If you mill a slide for a direct mounted optic, it typically fits really tight and really good, but you're stuck with that one optic for the rest of your life on that slide and that pistol.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, the modularity of it. Any upcoming products? Kind of. I don't know if there's many events left. They seem to all be postponed. Or any kind of goals you have coming up here, Buck?
My goals for this year are the same goals I've had for the last 6 or 7 years. Make the PRS finale. My goal is to make the PRS finale shooting less matches. I want to shoot far less rifle matches this year, and I want to shoot more pistol matches. I was at the Modern Samurai Project Red Dot instructor class this weekend, and I literally got my shit pushed in by some old fat guys because they are fast on the draw and they are accurate as all get out. And then I found out about these special patches that you can get for meeting their criteria. And it got me thinking, like, man, if I go home and dry fire, maybe I can get one of those patches. I want the Jedi patch. So a couple of my dear friends, Donovan Moore from Point One Tactics, has 2 Jedi patches, and it's a series of tests that you have to pass on the same day. I think I want one of those patches. So I'm going to put the rifle away. I'm not going to put it away. I'm not going to run the rifle as much this year. I'm going to run my pocket blaster a little bit more. I'm going to come see you. I'm going to be your attaché bag carrier. We're going to go do a whatever match. You're going to guide me through the wickets of, like, don't step on the 2x2 and shoot around a barrel. You know, that sounds like fun. So I'm looking forward to an invite to come to South Florida or wherever we're going. I'm going to shoot some more pistols. I'm going to support a whole bunch of ROs in a whole bunch of disciplines rather than just focused on precision rifle. So me and the midget are going to show up and we're going to crush some souls, or we're just going to give a bunch of stuff away and drink some beer.
I like beer.
Yeah. There you go. So, I mean, for those who are listening, want to reach out to your website, want to reach out to your social media, where can we find you before we sign off here?
You can find us at chpws.com. You can find us on the Book of Face at chpws. You can find us on Instagram at chpws. You catch a theme there? We're always trying to deliver real content from real people. I take all the pictures. I make all the posts. We don't have a 25 or a 30-year-old Instagram college graduate doing all of our stuff. We don't have the best pictures, but we have real pictures. You know, Jennifer, I see Jennifer 6 or 8 times a year. So she knows my style. If you see a picture on our stuff, it's our stuff. It's taken by a real person doing real stuff. So CHPWS on Instagram, CHPWS on Facebook, Buck Holly on Facebook, CHPWS on the website. We're in Richmond Hill, Georgia, and we're damn proud of that. Come see us.
Oh, there we go. Shout outs here, unless we have any live that came in, Greg, on your end. If not, you can start us off on the shout outs. What do you got?
Last live one is Joe Wise said Buck did a slide cut, and it's amazing.
CZ.
Ooh, CZ.
Yeah.
Fancy. All right. So for my shout outs, I got Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta, our local ranges. They're still open. They still have ammo. Everything's business as usual out there. PDC Custom for an absolutely beautiful rifle chassis like this up here. They're also available in normal human colors as well if you don't want that absolutely beautiful lime green.
Yes, they are.
NDZ Performance. So if you're that guy with like the gold barrel and you want to build a really sweet Gucci Glock, check them out.
Gucci. Yeah.
Gucci like Glock. Phone Scope, we talked about them earlier. If you haven't checked them out, definitely should. It's an awesome training aid. Good for, you know, your at-home dry fire routines that I know everyone's doing right now. I'm totally dry firing all the time. Definitely.
Boy.
Shooter's World Powder. Still no powder shortage. Still shipping powder. Still in stock at Shooters of Augusta and all over the place online. Hunter's HD Gold. Like I said before, if you haven't tried them out, it's literally like you use like one of those cool little Instagram filters on your eyes and you can see more stuff. Bortec. If anybody shows up to the range with a dirty gun after this long quarantine, there's no excuse. Of course, GSL suppressors. If you don't want to deafen the person next to you, it's a great thing for your shooting buddies. Also, 5x5 precision over here. I got this really awesome Crush It timer. Got it put on the gun yesterday. I should definitely check this out too.
I'm very sad that I don't have mine because it's back at home and I'm in Atlanta, but
Oh, you want to see it?
I know.
There's the box.
See?
What was that?
Have you not seen these? So check this out. You know Chad Heckler, right?
Yeah.
So he came up with this nifty little device. This particular one is made for a Warren Skyline mount, but that he has just 30 and 34 millimeter or Picatinny rails. It mounts on the side of the gun, and you can kind of preset your time on there. So you set it for a minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever. And when the RS is engaged, you hit the play button. And then instead of having to ask, 9 times, time check, whatever, you just look up and right above your dope card is how much time is left.
Oh, I've never timed out on a stage, so I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah, so I'm slow. So there's that. He also has here, let me pull this out. You can actually mount your dope card as I drop it on. Oop, there it goes. There you go. You mount your dope card right underneath it.
That's actually, I really like that. I think Swanee's got those up on Swanee's Dump here.
Yeah, they're his. They're Chad's that Swanee's selling. Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Shout outs, Jen. What do you got?
All right, so I got a shout out to the Milkoviches and Ryan Hay and Greg Cannon and Jody Lyle who sent me awesome edible eats fruit basket thing with a balloon. Anyway, I came back to the hotel yesterday just like dead and tired. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. It was a rough day and got in and was like, oh my God. And I get into the hotel and there's this basket sitting there. So thank y'all. It really, really, really made my day. Because it was like, oh, people are thinking of me because it's kind of lonely up here. I mean, I have my nurse friends, but anyway, it was very nice and it was very thoughtful and it meant a lot and it made my day. So thank y'all very much for that. And I'm also going to shout out Mike Guthrie, who has a bar in Augusta, Georgia called Bar on Broad, but he bought dinner last night for all the nurses that are here. It's like 18 of us, bought dinner at the hotel for all of us. So shout out to him because that meant a lot too, to have some support from back home. So thanks for those.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do those tonight because all my other sponsors, y'all get those every week. So
Nice. Man, that's some great gestures here from some fine folks in the community here. Buck, what do you have as far as shout outs? I know you hit a couple, but what do you got? Any additional?
First and foremost, the midget. My midget, she's with her mom right now. They're over in Columbus, Georgia. My best friend in the whole world. My son, I see him every day. My daughter up in Michigan. Friends, faith, family, and friends. All of my PRS friends, all of my family across the U.S. I miss you. I wish I could be with you more. I'm not about to back down from saying, praise God and find some Jesus. My heart is full of Jesus. I feel great that I get to spread the word, my opinion and God's word every week on my social media channels and just me running around. Aside from that, all of my friends, Jason Spradlin at Federal, what a fantastic partner. All of the Boom Squad shooters, 9 Line apparel. Jennifer is wearing a 9 Line PRS shirt.
mm-hmm.
I too am wearing a 9 Line shirt. They're one of our sponsors on the team. Sig Sauer Optics takes great care of us. Anybody that, and truly anybody that's a supporter of the PRS, anybody that's a supporter of, USPSA, IDPA, whatever, I don't, whether they're a sponsor of mine or not, if they support our Second Amendment rights, I applaud you for supporting all of your sponsors, whomever they are. Come out and support our God-given right. All I really want you people to do is get your kids out, get them exposed to pistols and rifles and shotguns on a daily basis so there's no curiosity. We don't have any safety issues. Take them hunting, take them fishing. We need to bring those people into the fold, get them accustomed to the firearms industry, get them accustomed to expecting to have our Second Amendment rights as they grow older, because if we don't, it will slowly be evaporated and we won't have this show anymore because we won't have anything to talk about. So I thank you guys again for hosting me. It's been wonderful. I've actually honestly always thought, I was like, man, I really wish I could be on that show one day, but I have nothing to talk about. And here we are. And we're like, we filled up an hour and a half or more. And I'm like, we could go on further than 2 hours. I mean, I'd have to go for a run for the beer for the fridge. So thank you guys for hosting me. It's been a pleasure. I love seeing all you guys. And if you don't invite me to a match to come down there and be your little chaperone and just blast some stuff and laugh, I'm sadly disappointed.
There we go. Greg, you had one more shout out here, and then I'll wrap a couple up.
Yep. So first off, Buck is not the first person to say, like, I always wanted to be on the show and blah, 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 blah. If you're watching, if you think you maybe have something to talk about, hit us up. We can make a show work. We're always looking for more guests. We're always looking to, help you get your companies out there. So always shoot us a message, shoot Anthony an email, anything like that. We'll get you on. We'll talk about some fun stuff. The last shout out was from Scott over in the comments. He said, shout out to all the first responders right now. Wayne said, Jennifer, thanks for what you do and stay safe this week.
Nice.
Thanks. I will.
There we go. A couple of shout outs. We talked about that email, theshootersmindset@gmail.com. You can send me an email there. Any guest suggestions, whatever you want to come on yourself. You have something you want to talk about. We'll get you on a show. We'll make it happen. Definitely thanks to Buck over at CHPWS for making this happen. We talked about his product throughout the show. Take advantage of TSM 25. And the folks over at Rise Armament for some fantastic AR-15 triggers. All right.
Hi.
That'll do it for episode 294 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Daddy.
We'll see you on the next one. We're out of here.